Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving right into a fascinating look at the highly unpredictable trial and error realities of biology and fish keeping. We're going to walk through a very specific, meticulously documented journal entry from a fellow aquarist that perfectly captures the reality of working with living creatures. So, if you've ever tried to plan out nature only to have nature totally flip the script on you, you are absolutely going to love this. Breeding fish is for sure full of unexpected surprises. Today, we're unpacking a micro case study from a dedicated hobbyist named Eng. Eng's been running a series of journal entries called Notes on Fishkeeping, and we are dropping right into entry number 303. This particular entry is a brilliant snapshot of what happens when a highly meticulous, carefully planned breeding experiment takes a completely unexpected turn. Section 1. The Long-Term Breeding Plan. Okay, let's dive into this. Every great experiment starts with a vision, and Eng's notes lay out an incredibly ambitious, long-term scientific pursuit. Our subject here is the round-jewel-cichlid, which is a hybrid bred specifically to have a shorter, rounder body. Now, what really stands out about Eng's notes is the sheer dedication. Eng actually describes spending all these moons breeding them, which, as we know, represents a massive investment of time and patience. Creating a hybrid isn't just a one-and-done deal. It takes immense day-in, day-out commitment over multiple generations to lock in those specific physical traits and stabilize the line before the next phase of an experiment can even begin. So step 1 was putting in that foundational work, breeding those round-jewel-cichlids over many moons to solidify their genetics. But step 2, well, that's the ultimate challenge. Taking this unique, specially bred hybrid and cross-breeding it with a standard, regular jewel-cichlid. It's your classic hybridization experiment. The whole goal is to see exactly how the phenotypic traits, the physical expressions of their DNA, will mix when combining a specialized round variant with the wild-type genetics of a traditional fish. You're essentially trying to bridge two distinct evolutionary paths right there in a single tank. Section 2. Setting up the pair. Now, you don't just snap your fingers and magically get the perfect genetic specimen. Eng explicitly notes going on field trips to some fish stores. I absolutely love this detail because it reminds us of the active, physical search involved in our hobby. It's not just clicking a button online, it's going out, observing tank after tank, assessing health and behavior, and hunting for that one specific, perfect fish that meets the exact criteria for a specialized project. And that hunt definitely paid off with a very specific pairing. The female subject is, as you'd expect, one of Eng's carefully raised round-jewel-cichlids. But the male subject is particularly important here. Eng selected a regular jewel-cichlid specifically because it had the most vibrant coloration available. The initial state of this male fish was just grand and visually striking. The plan was firmly set, right? A vibrant regular male to pass on strong color genetics and a uniquely shaped round female to pass on the distinct body type. Section 3. An unexpected color swap. Now, what's really interesting about this next part is the twist. You've got the vibrantly chosen male, the meticulously bred female, and they're finally placed together in the tank. But the outcome was entirely unexpected. The hand-picked, vibrant male completely lost its coloration, turning pale. Meanwhile, the female round-jewel-cichlid experienced the exact opposite. She's at her most vibrant color yet, with Eng noting she's probably one of the most reddish seen so far. It's literally a complete color swap. This highlights a totally fascinating biological reality. Phenotypic expression in hybridized genetics is just wildly unpredictable. Whether it was a response to a new environment, a shift in social dynamics, or just the unpredictable nature of hybrid pairings, the visual outcome was the exact opposite of the original hypothesis. No way, right? But before you start worrying about the health of our pale male, Eng notes a really reassuring detail. Despite the drastic color drain, both fish are, and I quote, always galloping for fish pellets during feeding time. I just love that quirky phrasing. This shows us a crucial takeaway for hobbyists and scientists alike. In hybridized breeding, a dramatic shift in physical appearance doesn't necessarily mean a decline in biological health or vitality. The fish are still incredibly strong, active, hungry, and vigorously eating, even if the aesthetic results went entirely sideways. Section 4. The next experiment. This is exactly where we see how a dedicated hobbyist processes unexpected results and adapts. After spending all these moons breeding the variants in the past and facing that bizarre color swap in the present, Eng immediately looks to the future. Instead of getting discouraged by the pale male, the journal notes that in the coming weeks, it might be time to try something new. It perfectly connects the past effort, the present reality, and future plans, showing us that the pursuit of understanding these genetics is very much an ongoing process. Which leaves us with this final provocative thought directly from Eng's notes. Perhaps the solution is to find another, larger, and even more vibrant jewel-cichlid to pair up instead. It's a wonderful cliffhanger that leaves us totally curious about what will happen in part 304 of this journey. Will a larger male actually hold its color? Will the female stay vibrant? So, what does this all mean for us? Well, it's a phenomenal reminder that in any deep pursuit, whether it's biology, aquariums, or literally any complex hobby, patience, continuous adaptation, and a willingness to try again in the coming weeks are the absolute keys to discovery. Thanks for exploring this explainer with me today.